Okay, so a bunch of left-wing channels were recommended for us to check out. So we're going to kind of speed run these. So I just kind of like selected some of their most popular ones. Some of them didn't look too political. So we also need to be like, is this actually a political channel, or do they occasionally cover politics as well? You know? So we're not going to watch like through every video. We're going to kind of speed run these and try and get through like maybe like 10 and 30 minutes.
And here we go.
Oh, also, I made Matt Walsh fans really mad.
Based.
So Matt Walsh tweeted out about this random lady. I don't know who this lady is, but tweeted her life doesn't revolve around her family and kids. So instead, it revolves around TV shows and pop stars. Worst of all, she's too stupid to realize how depressing this is.
Okay.
Which I thought was needless.
I like her Pepe doll.
And also just, you know,
seeing a little VTuber icon thing in the banner.
Kind of a shit posty way. So I tweeted, Matt Walsh's life doesn't revolve around his family and kids. Instead, it revolves around hating trans people and complaining about people liking pop culture. Worst of all, he's too stupid to realize how depressing this is. And I thought that was a pretty fun little jokey joke there, because I think it does a lot to point out how Matt Walsh is a vacuous piece of shit. Yeah, turns out a lot of people were pretty upset about that. Oh, this person just this person blocked me, but they asked me if I was happy, and I said, yeah, my little joke tweet triggered a lot of snowflakes. And
that's epic. Yeah, that's how I'll be talking to these people. All right, was there anything else in this video, or just reading Twitter?
In favor of
just looks like reading Twitter.
All right, let's check out our channel. Oh, that's this. Have you seen this video?
Feel bad about it.
No.
It's like this is Matt Walsh making his like interns or something wrestle in diapers, and one of them totally has a swastika tattoo on his back.
Oh my god.
You can't really see it though; it's very hard to see. So
yeah,
go to her channel. See how
you can actually
give her a political rating.
Yes.
Hassan fails to utterly explain socialism.
3. I thought our video was long. Holy
well, she's also
shit.
We edited it down. She's mainly a streamer, right? So these are just like VODs, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
So she you know, that's why she also has video game content on there too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very similar to us.
Yeah. It looks like it's all political to me. So
yeah, Hill Defenders, Proud Boy Leader. Okay. Fox News.
Okay, let's check out the next person. I'm going to put her on the list.
On MSNBC on Ayman Mohadin's weekend show, like 9 p.m.
Oh, I love this girl, man. She's so funny.
Very few people are watching. That's when my MSNBC special aired.
She's
in the dead of winter, right between Christmas and New Year's, you know, when no one wants to watch the news. Anyway, but so I was on, and it was fun. And today I got an alert on my name because, yes, I am that narcissist. Don't we all? Usually it's random TYT stuff.
Okay.
Maybe a show on they go. MSNBC guest says, quote, only 2 options for immigration, letting people into this country or letting them die.
Okay.
True.
Which people have pointed out to me. Fox News.
You see what her show is called, though?
Let them die. Let them die. And then it says comedian Francesca Fiorentini, which thanks, suggesting has been on actually not just humanizing migrants, which is just the lowest bar, right?
Yeah.
But truly, how can we be better than the narco gangs that these folks are running from? These are allegedly people on, you know, who have been, in quotes, suffering under socialism in Venezuela. So who knows, right? I'm not sure. I also think it's important
if this is specifically about Venezuelans, extra based.
Color and the fact that only a few months ago you had Haitian migrants being chased on horseback, and yet Ukrainian migrants
Yeah.
Refugees have been welcomed into this country, which they should be. And the answer is this: it's either death or accepting folks into this country. There's only two options here.
That's
And
fair.
I'm gonna go with letting people into this country instead of letting them.
Okay, she seems fine.
I already know a little bit about her, so
I've never seen her before.
I've seen her on
Bullying
the
works.
Retire Please with Dianne Feinstein.
That's funny.
Honestly,
Okay.
I'll probably there was an anarchy symbol on that one. George's
there was
Wild.
Hey,
City.
Cop City.
Nice.
Nice. I like this chick.
Yeah, I'll probably
Okay.
watch more of her because I've seen her on the Majority Report, and every time she's been really funny.
Well, she's a comedian, didn't you hear?
Yeah,
Okay.
unlike
I like
Steven
that.
Crowder. And there's more too that were recommended. I was just going to see how many we could get through.
Unblemished record of heterosexuality.
Jesus Christ.
And he looks hard.
Turn this up a little.
Going on Twitter, and I saw this video. I saw this video of Jesse Waters saying that Trump looked hard or something. He was like, I say this having an unblemished record of heterosexuality. And I was like, damn, bro, that's got to be like the gayest shit I've ever heard. Like, you know, so I was actually hoping to see if I can find that. I
think this video will be funny, but let's go to his
think
channel
it's
and see if
this
there's something
Bring
like
in
a
the
little
founder
bit
of
more
American
serious,
Majority
because
Network.
obviously,
Here
like
we
we
go.
already
So
know
we're
this
about
video
to
is going to be
see
funny.
the
It's
mugshot.
Yeah.
And there it is.
By the way, we're not subscribing because this is the channel we use to curate fascism. Yeah, Cornell.
against
Hit that
the
Cornell
West.
West. Yeah, Cornell
Bernie
West.
is right. Cornell West should drop out. Do you want to do that one?
Jump a little bit
RBN
in
left
because
and all those
he's doing the video right by putting the beginning in.
phobic, bigoted fucking losers that they don't have a place here, that their fight is lost. It's a lost cause. They're hopeless, and they should just move on, whatever that means. This is why it's so important that Trump loses. These elections are messages that we get to send in the voting booth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to get a little like tongue-tied here, but
I think
this is why elections are
why it's important that Trump also win the primary here and get steamrolled in the election. Or, you know, who knows what's going to happen with the criminal cases, though. But the Republican Party is going to fall apart.
Yes.
So that's why like the main reason you should vote Democrat. Like if you're an anti-state like theorist or anything like that, you should still do it, because the downfall of a political party in America, especially a conservative one, is going to change a lot of shit up. It's going to be let end to like the Reaganite neocon era.
And it'll be for the good.
You know, it sets the tone for policy to be made, and for the attitude that the public has towards many different issues. Like, this is why these elections are important. This is why it's important. These are people whose only interest in politics is the couple pennies that they can scrape from their idiot audiences, and you know, and how long they can manipulate them to continue, you know, feeding whatever bullshit they want to dish out.
Fundamental reform in health.
All right, I'm going to grab him. I think we can go to the next person.
Russia paid for anti-imperialist group.
Yeah. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Do you know what Uhuru is?
This is Black Hitler.
Yeah, this is what he came out of. He was too extreme for Uhuru, so they pulled out. This guy, bro. We already have this guy on the list. The Revolutionary Blackout guy.
Is that this guy?
Yeah. Nick Cruz. No. Nick Cruz. He's just watch this, man. Open it up. Full screen.
Black socialist MMA. What a lol cow. Socialist MMA.
He is. He's right. He is a low cow.
This guy is such a lol cow. Wait, what? Get it yet? Get what yet?
Shout out to my fellow radicals in the United States who believe crazy Bro, we do not claim you. Like, you betrayed the railroad workers.
Okay. We do not claim you. You don't get to claim someone like that. Come on, give me that boy Bernie Sanders couldn't wait to endorse Biden and kill Marianne Williamson's campaign. He is, again, why are you hinging all your hope on one person? Why are you doing that?
They're not. They're fake. Let's
Okay,
get
it's
to the
just gonna
stuff where
be
Russia paid him.
bad mouthing is shit. Okay, he's a lolcow.
Hey, what's poppin', my friends?
What's
Good to
poppin'?
see you. So here is the permit. The watch ending.
Component entirely, or they're gonna say it's a good thing. I think the third one is the least likely. At best, they're just gonna gloss over it. At worst, maybe most likely, they're gonna ignore it entirely.
And one of the people charged is a man named Omali Shatella. He's 82 years old. He's the leader of a group called the African People's Socialist Party. They're a black leftist group. And what this indictment alleges is that they're essentially Russian agents.
They
and
are.
This indictment is very long, and it goes through all these
That's
cases
what you wanted, right?
where members of the African People's Socialist Party spread what the indictment paints as pro-Kremlin propaganda. It's simply just criticism of U.S. foreign policy, especially in Ukraine, in fueling the proxy war in Ukraine.
So far, ignoring
blocking
it.
diplomacy, and in arming neo-Nazi groups like the Azov Battalion. So that's what this indictment is targeting these black leftists for. And here is the chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, Amalia Shatella, speaking
Let's get to where he
about a
responds
raid that
to
happened
what
on his
this
home in conjunction
Russian
with
agent says.
I have not seen a justification for. I've seen. Let's be real here. Let's be real for a moment. The Afghan war, completely avoidable. Go
Bro,
in with
look at
a
his
special
shirt.
team, take out Bin Laden. You're out. Okay. That was what they should have done, and they had the opportunity to take on Bin Laden, but Dick Cheney decided against it. Why? Because taking out Bin Laden would ruin the reason for the war. So they decided not to go after him. And it is said that Bin Laden was
Russia?
praying to Allah, and he prays on American Bin Laden. War they've done. Ukraine is not a war. It is a defensive alliance.
Okay.
It is helping your partners. It is the
Correct.
same
Yeah.
as sending food and military equipment to the UK before you entered the war against Nazis. It is the exact same thing. Let's just hope we can avoid the world war this time. Wolfowitz doctrine, which sought to give America a greater platform for invading Iran and dominating the world. Justifiable option was Bin
Iran?
Laden's
No, he's talking about Iran?
right here. What they should have done, the more justifiable option was what Obama did. Go in with a special operation, a small group of people targeting Bin Laden's compound. I don't know if he lived in a compound back then or not. I've seen
He was in
videos
a
of him
cave.
in the mountains. Whatever. That's what they should have done. Of course, they didn't, because they didn't want to get Bin Laden. Bin Laden was a svepskäl, just a justification, just a hand waving justification to go in.
Okay.
Of course, they did until.
In all seriousness,
Okay.
He hasn't talked about the fact that they're Russian funded at all.
Well, no, Aaron Mate said it. That was the article, is that they're alleging that these guys are Russian agents.
Well, they probably are.
So-
Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of, yeah, I mean, he's just brought up the Afghan war twice and Bin Laden. And like, I'm not here to critique that kind of thing. I'm just here to see his, like,
Yeah.
let's see his
Okay.
the rest of his channel.
I like his channel name.
Yeah, where is he from? Does it say in his bio? Oh,
Little.
let's see that 1984 thing. Dude, this looks Scandinavian to me.
We've all read 1984,
maybe.
right?
No,
Right?
nobody should read
here
that book.
not read
Throw it in the
1984.
trash.
I want to touch on Newspeak specifically,
You love this, Jack Newspeak.
because what Newspeak does, and this isn't my
Let's fucking go.
explanation of it, this isn't my idea, but freedom. freedom is a very nebulous
He has Norse
concept
runes on his
for
wrist.
to understand. It's something that we
Yeah,
have
he's probably Norwegian, Finnish, maybe.
differing ideas about. We have differing competing ideas even on what
He's probably Norwegian,
creates
actually.
freedom. Freedom
He's
is to
probably
a
mainly a
libertarian-
streamer as well. So
Mm,
he
that's
probably
what
has
it
a lot
seems.
more of his a lot more views on his
Yeah.
streams.
I'm actually curious to see what he
what
says.
freedom is to a conservative, what freedom is to a Nazi, what freedom is to a tanky. All of these differ widely. I am fine with putting barriers on people's freedom in order to safeguard other people's freedom.
He's so right.
We don't allow for persecution. We don't allow for genocidal talk because we know that leads to bad outcomes. We put limits on people's freedom. Now, in 1984, we have the Inner Party, clearly a direct reference to Soviet Union and similar structures, where the Inner Party controls what is and isn't allowed in society completely. They also control what you can and can't talk about completely. And the way they do this, think about being free.
All right.
They're
Anyway,
forced
let's see who's
into-
next. I already saw his channel. I already put him on the thing. So let's jump
Yeah,
in. I had to give my chinchilla a stick because he was eating plastic.
Bread tube is toast.
Careful. Probably one of the newest darlings of the left, due to what I like to call
Yeah, you haven't seen Keffels before, so that's why I put it in here.
when something tragic happens to a person in a community, a marginalized community especially, and folks begin to rally behind them in order to ward off a common enemy, which in this case was Kiwi Fongs.
So hey everyone, if you've been following what's been going on with me lately, you've noticed that there's been sort of a situation. So to wind back to how this all started, there's a YouTuber named Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, and he put out a video that was basically drama baiting. It put me in the thumbnail next to it. Had a lot of very weird moments in it. For instance, he accused me of spreading egregious lies and bigotry and causing pain at scale.
She gone on to make some of the most egregious lies and bigotries we have seen in this space.
And the only evidence that he provided for this was me tweeting about noodles and me refusing to apologize to someone who not only mocked me for being the victim of a hate crime, but also repeatedly smeared me as
Fuck
a
this person. Her 2IT video was awesome, but obviously it's 2 hours
It's
long.
fun. It's
Dude, the
2
Marxist
hours.
Leninism is a cult.
Yeah.
I wanted to discuss a situation that's been unfolding for the past few days where people have been spreading lies about both me and my friends. If you watch the latest video on my channel, you'll know who Benny Carollo is, a former TYT host who left the network while accusing Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian of transphobia. At the time, I was aware Benny and I have political differences, but it was important to shelve them because she and I are in agreement on trans issues, and I respected what she had to say in that situation. It was important to show solidarity to another trans woman in her effort to call out
It's
a
like me
hostile
when I work with
workplace
terrorists.
and her employers who decided to ignore her. I will admit that while I was aware of our political differences,
the propaganda is
the
insane.
reality
No,
is-
let's have a conversation about concentration camps. Like, maybe we shouldn't be forcing them to eat pork against their religious conscience. Murdering a lot of them is probably wrong. There's really not a conversation to be had. Like, you're defending concentration camps. I think they're wrong.
If
And
there
they're
was a
evil, and
major
they're
terrorist
terrible.
movement in the United States, how do you think we should respond to that?
it was like she was debating from another reality. These were all appalling to me, and I decided to share it with my audience on my Keppel's
There
live
has
channel.
been terrorist
Look aside,
movements
if
in
you're
the
not
United
already
States.
Yeah. How were they dealt with?
I mean, the FBI just basically
Mm.
sneaks in and arrests them and charges them, and then they get released after doing their time. Normally, like the terrorist threats, they'll only get like under 5 years a lot of times. Not concentration camps, unless it's after September 11th and you one time had a phone call with an al-Qaeda member, then you're fucked.
All
right, we're good.
Positions.
Okay.
Now
That's
you know
fine.
who she is. She was
Yep,
she was already
okay.
on there anyway, so
Yeah. Now I know.
it's like a mystery box every time it starts.
This is absolutely PragerU. This is in the ballpark of probably, if not, one of the worst videos they've uploaded to their channel ever. Okay, it's really high up there. I think so. Different.
It's
And
funny because the animation is so
made of
bad.
a-
They just the
it's
kids
fighter.
just stand in
Propaganda.
one place the whole thing.
Despite some violence and destruction by some of our angrier activists, we're seeing mostly peaceful protests.
What is going on? Things are so weird right now.
I know. Mrs. Calder gave us an assignment today about being activists for justice.
Isn't Mrs. Calder your math
can speed
teacher?
it up, too.
Yeah, we learn math,
This
but
one?
we spent
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of time.
Oh, would you look at that? Far right Boogaloo Boy admits posing as BLM activist while shooting at the police station during George Floyd protests. That's so.
That's
curious.
hilarious.
When
Why
they
they
go
gave him-
see Frederick Douglass.
Famous activist in America, and I'm currently working on getting something abolished.
Abolish means to end.
When I know they have literally zero chill, but whoa, cool hair.
And abolishing things. Can you help us?
Well, not to brag, but I'm the perfect guy for you to talk to. I'm the most famous activist in America, and I'm currently working on getting something abolished.
Abolish means to end, right? What are you wanting to get rid of?
Wait, didn't they just say that they didn't know what abolish even meant? Abolishment? I don't even know what the damn word means. And now she's like, abolish means end, right? What? There's so many plot holes in the story. So
It's-
weird. This is definitely not getting a good score on Rotten
It's
Tomatoes.
almost like
I
the
want
skill
to
of the writer is as good as the
Time that you have come
animator.
to visit for half of the United States. It is okay for some people to make them work for many hours for no pay and force them to do anything, anytime.
That's so unfair and horrible.
You're right. The sad fact is slavery has
Unfair.
existed everywhere in the world for thousands of years. But it's especially disappointing here because America was founded on the idea of freedom.
Oh, baby. Listen, all of them stinky foreigners, oh, baby, they weren't like us, all right? We fucking love freedom here. And it's sad. Is it voice filler? Yeah, I don't know why they gave him such a crazy, like, hello, everyone. It's me, Frederick Douglass. Okay, all right, buddy.
Yet so many black people
This
are
one's
not
not
free.
going to count towards
Are
the
you a slave,
time.
Mr. Douglas?
I was, but not anymore.
I
was born a
needed the
slave, and I was
Frederick
taken from my
Douglass
family at the
excerpt
age of 6.
yesterday.
That's just so terrible. How did you deal with that?
It was very hard, and I was often sad. But I taught myself to read and write, and like I always say, knowledge is the pathway
How?
from slavery to freedom. As a boy, I was regularly beaten. But when I was 21, I had had enough and escaped to the north, where slavery is against the law. I have never looked back.
What about that?
Children, our founding fathers knew that slavery was evil and wrong, and they knew that it would do terrible harm to the nation. They wanted it to end, but their first priority was getting all 13 colonies to unite as one country.
Okay, so
And money.
No, the thing is that some of them wanted it to end.
Mm.
The not putting slavery in the Constitution was a compromise, basically. Jefferson literally was like, slavery is bad, but if we end it, we need to deport the black people.
not the nicest place. Anyways, if they were so against slavery, you would expect them to like not own slaves either. But make it listen. It's the story's a little complicated. Okay.
It is complicated, but you can summarize it into they were cowards. Washington was a coward.
They made a compromise.
Look
And
at the
sure,
dick state.
all of my people were raped, tortured, and murdered for their own financial benefit. But
Where?
The bottom state, it's shaped like a dick.
Oh. That is
And
funny.
you see why the black belt exists, right? Why the black population
Yeah.
in those states
Yeah,
exists
yeah.
in that belt.
Mhm.
Funny, huh? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, isn't it?
Wonder what caused that.
they did do something super sick, like the America. Come on, we all got to make a little compromise, okay? Other people's lives for my own money. Come
Yes,
on,
that's
come
exactly what
on,
it was.
think of the cash, the ka-ching.
Our founders created a system they thought would have slavery end gradually.
Well, we're here in 1852, and America's been around for about 75 years. You're still trying to get slavery abolished.
That's a good point, Leo. Wow, that's a good point, Leo. Dude, the 246 years of slave, bro. It's been 246
Yeah,
years.
you want to know why it's still going on? James Monroe is a coward. There was multiple chances they had to end it before the Civil War. And Frederick Douglass is right. Frederick Douglass, before the Civil War, is writing about how it's been created and it's inevitable that the war is coming and that it's necessary and it's the John Brown way.
Thank you. Thank you, PragerU Frederick Douglass, for your wise words. It's funny how the kid asked, didn't the founding fathers own slaves? And then they completely ignore the question. Oh yeah, he's like, didn't the founding fathers own slaves? And then he just moonwalks away. Frederick Douglass just moonwalks away from that question. It's amazing. Oh, it's so good.
Huh?
What I mean is, sometimes things are more complicated than they might seem, and complicated problems take time to solve.
When I have a complicated math problem, if I rush to solve it, I make mistakes.
Leo, ending slavery is
Only
such
if
a
you're
big
a
deal in more
coward.
math problem.
It's fucking shit, bro. I'm literally dying inside.
This meme is very real.
Yeah, so my family was
Here's
raped, tortured,
his
and
like
murdered for their entire
donation
lives.
button is Marjorie Taylor
um,
Greene going, this meme is very real.
Bro, dude, slavery is just like calculus, man. You ever think about that? Wild. This is probably one of the most incredible videos I've ever seen.
It certainly is, Layla. Along with independence and democracy, it's probably America's biggest deal. There was no real movement anywhere in the world to abolish slavery before the American founding.
Fuck off.
I'm going to end it.
Go on.
No, it's just not true. America is way behind on this.
Yeah, because England banned it pretty much after the secession,
Well, the slave trade ended up being like demonstrably unprofitable. That's the main thing that we have to remember. It wasn't because they were nice.
Imagine if it was.
Some of it, I mean, everyone acknowledged that it was abhorrent, right? But then when it's also like not making you a lot of money, there's more incentive to just end the practice immediately.
Yeah, of course.
So it goes both ways, but I don't want to give people too much credit for being nice about ending slavery, you know?
Yeah.
That have called to outlaw
Haiti
slavery.
had already happened.
Talking about. I want to find the nearest sewer and slide into it. I'm going to pull a sewer slide. Okay, I'm going to support my local Home Depot and buy a length of rope. All right, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna take all the money that I earned from streaming and buy an Elon Musk rocket ride and then cut the engines halfway through. Just something. Just to feel something. Okay, this is too much. I hurt so much. It's toaster time.
Slavery was part of life all over the world. It was America that began the conversation to end it.
That's not true.
Oh my God.
These are two incredibly different statements. These are two incredibly different statements. And two, no, they didn't. In Haiti, they abolished slavery before the US did. In France, they did. I think in even in England, they did. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What's happening? This guy isn't a character. He's not a meme. He's a real human being who suffered greatly for a long portion of his life. This is one of, if not PragerU's greatest sin.
It's quite
this is incredible to me. Dude, what about in Egypt? We're like, bro, what the? Oh, I'm going to. I'm so fucking mad. These people claim to be Christians. Do you remember the?
It was correct. The big problems need to be approached very carefully. Have you kids heard of William Lloyd Garrison?
No. Nope.
He's an abolitionist like me, and he and I used to be friends, but we aren't any longer. We don't agree how to solve problems. William refuses all compromises, demands immediate change, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he likes to set things on fire.
Sounds familiar.
That pain, destruction. My heart weeps when I'm alone. The only thing I hear is the sound of rain in my heart. My abolitionist side, but they unironically are like deriding abolitionists here and saying that they're bad. Oh, this guy, he wants to burn the Constitution. That's cringe. I just want to do it slowly.
Sounds like you know the type.
Yeah, we've got that type in our time.
So you're trying to work for change inside of the American system.
Precisely, Layla. Our system is wonderful.
No.
And the Constitution is a glorious liberty.
Douglas never.
We just need to convince enough Americans to be true to it.
Bro, and that shit didn't happen. The thing is that never even happened.
Douglas was literally like part of
happened.
the Underground
You know what
Railroad. What do you mean within the Constitution and law? Come on,
dude. Things done never worked. It never worked.
Look at his response to the fugitive slave law, where it said basically if you ran away to the north like he did, you were still a slave and could be brought back. Okay, let's check out someone else. We got to the part where he compares the ending of slavery to BLM like that. Oh my god, it was so funny. And also think that slavery didn't end without violence, you know, like we were totally going to end slavery like next year, guys. They didn't need to invade us, I swear. That was just for my own pleasure. It was a little break time. Yeah, somebody is really enthusiastic about this person.
Is genocide of the Uyghur Muslims in the Xinjiang Autonomous Region in northwest China. These accusations are based upon the contents of a leaked Twitter DM in which he characterized the approach taken by the CCP to manage Islamic extremism in Xinjiang as a quote-unquote dream compared to the quietist approach taken in his own country of Iraq, or America's strategy of bombing them and whatever innocents and children happen to be nearby at the moment from the sky. Well, I think we can all take the point that the approach of other major powers to controlling extremism, both within their populations and abroad, has been extremely problematic, both in terms of ethics and efficacy. I can't endorse what looks very much to my eyes here like Hakeem downplaying and even sugarcoating the brutal and inhuman nature of what the CCP is doing to the Uyghur population. Now, to be fair, he says he is making another video in future to address this issue in particular, but even judging from the leaked DMs themselves...
That's pretty base to say, to be fair, after reading that this person supports genocide, you know?
appears
that
to
is
endorse some
some
particular
good faith
embellish.
acting. Not many people have that much good faith, you know.
Or, more accurately, outright lie about what's happening. With that said, that doesn't mean I think it's paradise. Increased police presence is never a pleasant thing to see. I've never claimed no injustices have ever occurred. In fact, I think China has committed many mistakes in their approach towards extremism in Xinjiang, and I plan on covering this in a future video. My sole point is, well, how about I quote the cutoff section of the DM, actually? In my personal experience, though, the position of the Chinese on re-educating radicalized segments of their population through language programs, vocational schooling, and proper religious guidance is a dream that I wish would take place in my country. That's what's happening.
Okay, never mind. We're not here for this. We're not here to talk about Hakeem.
Hakeem begins by pointing out that referring to the CCP's activities with respect to the Uyghur Muslims as a quote-unquote genocide assumes that a genocide is occurring. He suggests that the evidence doesn't suggest that much. The immediate problem is that even on the mildest analysis, the evidence indeed suggests not even merely a cultural genocide or a culture-cide, if you wish, with genocidal implications perhaps, but genocide in the most literal meaning of the term, in intent, with the Chinese embassy in the U.S. boastfully tweeting the results of the study.
Oh my god, I love that. All right, we're good.
Extremism
this guy's fucking the fact that he's the keyword he said there that made me say, all right, we're good. This guy's based. Do you know what it was?
No.
Intent.
Interesting. Okay, I did pick up on that because that's what it is.
That's straight. Yeah, that's straight out of the Genocide Convention document. This guy's like clearly is very familiar with what genocide is. There's a lot of fascist content I sent in there. So anyway, that was our speed run of a few leftist channels, and there's plenty more that we have to go through in the future. But now it's time to actually react to fascist channels.